This week's challenge is about letter writing, and I've really struggled thinking about who I was going to write to, because actually there are loads of people that I'd like to send letters to, you know, people I went to university with. It might be a nice surprise to get a letter through the post. Maybe a friend who's done something really lovely, maybe send a thank you letter or something like that. But because there were so many people that I could have picked, I decided to do something which I haven't done for a few weeks, but actually I have done fairly consistently since the children were born, and that is write in their journals, I suppose you'd call them. I do it, I suppose, as kind of a letter to them every few weeks, sort of talking about the things that they've been up to and the things that they've achieved, the things that I found funny that they've said. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write letters to my children.
I'm going to sit right down and write myself a letter.
So I'm looking for some inspiration for my letter, and I thought I'd just look at some famous letters online. So I found an article that has a number of different famous letters on. This one in particular really grabbed my attention. It's from Her Majesty the actual Queen, and she has written this to President Eisenhower. This is on January 24th, 1960. So she would have been, I think, 33 at this point. Yeah, 33. Okay, so this is what she sent to him. Dear Mr. President, seeing a picture of you in today's newspaper standing in front of a barbecue grilling quail reminded me that I had never sent you the recipe of the drop scones which I promised you at Balmoral. I now hasten to do so, and I hope you will find them successful. Though the quantities are for 16 people, when there are fewer, I generally put in less flour and milk, but use the other ingredients as stated. I have also tried using golden syrup or treacle instead of only sugar, and that can be very good too. I think the mixture needs a great deal of beating while making and shouldn't stand about too long before cooking. She carries on with various sort of lovely pleasantries to him, and then ends with all good wishes to you and Mrs. Eisenhower, yours sincerely, Elizabeth R. And then is the menu, the recipe rather, for drop scones, which she calls a menu. And in the ingredients, it starts with 4 teacups of flour. 4 teacups of flour. I wonder if Mr. Eisenhower actually had a teacup to use. So absolutely wonderful. You do actually get the entire recipe, which maybe we'll post online later. So I think what I'm going to do is write to my nephews, and maybe what I will do is send them a recipe of something very Manx that they can try while they're living out in New York. But thank you for the inspiration, Your Majesty. And of course I should also say apologies for the appalling impersonation of you. I do hope none of her royal loyal subjects were listening to that.
Okay, that's Holly's done. It's not actually very long, I suppose, but it's just really nice thinking of all the things that she's done over the past few weeks that I might want to remember. You have to put some things in there as well that they've done which they might not want to be reminded about as well. So this one is Max's. And I suppose sometimes I get a little bit obsessive about doing this, and I have to jot things down to remind me to write it down in the book. And the only thing I wonder is, when am I going to stop writing in them? Because obviously my eldest is nearly 11 now. But yes, so this is my letter writing. I hope it's not cheating. I don't think it is really. But it has inspired me also. There are some thank you cards that I need to do, so I'm going to do those as well, because it is really lovely to show somebody that you've appreciated what they've done. And I've got some friends who are so good at writing thank you letters, and it does put me to shame, so I'm going to do that as well. So yes, challenge completed.
I have chosen my materials for my correspondence with my nephews. I've got a box of letter writing stuff way back when, I think it was from university time actually, and I've got all kinds of different things I could use, such as Winnie the Pooh notepaper and Winnie the Pooh note cards. They might like those. But what I have found in the box are 2 postcards. One is a 1970s picture of Peel Beach, and the other is, again, a very sort of 1970s looking postcard of a Manx cat. And when my nephews were last here, the older one, Finn, we played on the beach, Peel Beach, so that one will remind him of that. And the littler one, Luca, loves Manx cats and has a Manx cat toy, so that will remind him of that. So I am now going to fill in my postcards and get them ready to send tomorrow. But for now, that is challenge, I think, number 6 now, complete.
And make believe it came from you.
The Manx Radio 50 Things Challenge.